Oh, wow. Wow.
How Will Smith broke the internet.
I'm North Star, the $7 entrepreneur. See the link in the description.
You know, Will, I always thought about the scene with you and the late great James Avery.
Yeah.
When your father left. What did you dig into to get that kind of emotion out of that scene? Because even now, if you watch that, your eyes will.
I
still feel it. Yeah, you still feel it.
Everybody on The Fresh Prince was stage-trained actors. Alfonso, starting the show, had 15 years of experience coming in. So I was the least experienced.
The tap dance kid.
The tap dance kid,
Right.
yeah. You know, moonwalking into Michael Jackson. When I came onto the show, James Avery was one of the first people that pulled me up, and he was like, hey, you have real talent. Don't squander it. He never liked nothing. He didn't like nothing I did, and I was always trying to get his approval. In that scene, it was like the first time that I took a real dramatic shot. I'm trying to get there, and I want to impress him so bad. And the first time in front of the audience, I missed it, and I messed the scene up, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm losing it in front of the audience, you know, and he like said, hey! I snapped in, and he was pointed, he's like, use me in this scene. And we went, and he said, get it together, and I settled down, he said, action. And then ultimately we did the scene, and we had the scene that was there, and I'm holding him, and when I'm holding him, he whispers in my ear, now that's fucking acting. And I was like, I'm feeling it now. It's like when you have those emotional toolboxes, sometimes you slip into, I can feel that emotion right now. He was the father figure that me personally felt like I was disappointing him in that scene. So I tapped into that, and I used my relationship with James Avery to find that emotion. For me, it's been a massive acting journey, hugely on the back of his teachings and his urging of me to always go deeper.
I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people.
I'm feeling it now. It's like when you have those emotional toolboxes, sometimes you slip into, I can feel that emotion right now.
Hope Young Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Why, Will?
No, so here's what happened. Here's what happened.
It's a little weird.
It's not weird, it's just why.
It's what? No.
You got a family, Will.
No, so what happened was I painted myself into a corner with Will Smith. And I realized that, you know, we have our childhood traumas and we have our experiences, and then we all create these characters that are going to be our characters that defend us in the world.
Ooh.
There's certain things we can't do, there's certain things we can't say, certain ways we react if people do something, and we create a character that we go out into the world with. Then that character wins some things for us. It's like, oh, we succeed by behaving this way.
Yes.
Then what happens, you get to a point where it stops working as well. And the reason that it stops working is because it's not true. It's not really who you are. And then you get backed into a corner, it stops working. Now the question is, are you gonna be courageous enough and are you gonna be brave enough to kill, essentially, the character that you've created, and are you gonna have the courage to live as who you really are?
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And on my 50th birthday, when I jumped out of that helicopter over the Grand Canyon, that was kind of my moment for myself where I was like, I'm gonna be who I am, even if it isn't in line with the Will Smith that people think I'm supposed to be. I'm going to have the courage, and I'm going to have the bravery to be who I am. I want you to know who you really are is enough, that the character can die.
Rita Walker said we have to be willing to let go of who we want people to think we are.
Yes, exactly. And that was the thing for me. Me and Jada talk about that a lot, you know, even the idea of our marriage and how people want us to be married versus how we're really married.
This is your red table, and you brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
relationship. Absolutely.
It's like it's a really different thing, and it's so hard to let go of the characters
Of what people want to
and
see.
what people want to see, and because also those characters saved your life when you were young.
Right.
Yes.
Those ideas saved your life
And made you money.
and they made you money.
Yeah.
You know, so letting go of that and having the courage to really be who you are in the world, and it's like it's terrifying.
Will should be a motivational speaker.
He's not? I thought he was.
Will Smith takes good care of me. It's just, it's not all the way me.
Gotcha.
There's a certain amount of pretense and inauthenticity that it takes to hold up the character. There was a certain amount of rawness and unbridled creativity during the first part of my career. And then once I started winning, it did kind of narrow the avenues of what I wanted to do. It was more important to me to win than to be me. So
Man,
there
that's a
was
bar.
the Fresh Prince was wild and raw and unapologetically
Right.
himself. And then Will Smith got a little bit more polished, and once you line up a couple of number ones in a row, you get the taste for blood in your mouth. That taste sort of destroys the vastness of your creative mind. No, I'm definitely living my best life, man. It's like that when I jumped out of that helicopter, my whole
That was it.
I hit the next phase you know, of my life in a way that this last year has been the best year of my adult life.
I heard you once say, Will, that there's nothing your wife could do, Ms. Jada Pinkett Smith, to break up the relationship. As a husband, how do you know that?
An entanglement?
We've been wildly tested.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
We have tested each other. We have attested our commitment to the partnership. We've tested our commitment to our family. And, you know, there's a certain amount of, let's say, battery that you have to subject each other to in order to know that you're really down.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I thought you were
Oh
gonna say
my
no.
God, that was in the early days.
Yeah.
That was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pac. Because we had a little bit of a thing, right? Because, you know, they grew up together and they loved each other, but they never had
An entanglement?
a sexual relationship. But they had come into that age where now that was a possibility. And then Jada was with me, but she just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince. It was like I couldn't handle it. I was the soft rapper from Philly and he was Pac.
Right.
I was deeply, deeply insecure. But I wasn't man enough to handle that relationship.
Well, they give you a lot of shit. Like they talk about a cold streak you're having at the box office, and you know, it was like one time you was guaranteed
I know,
blockbuster. Like
That
so I'm
was
like,
pretty dope.
does that stuff bother you? Like,
Yeah. I transitioned from my material world journey to my inner journey, and not in a weird way, just in a way is I got to be okay with me. I can't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't even look at the box office anymore. I don't even want that in my mind, comparing myself to what other people are doing. I had a brief moment. I got stuck on The Rock when he doing all these billion-dollar movies, and I got stuck in, and that animal woke up again. But I was like, you know what? I realized there's never enough. You'll never earn enough money. You'll never have enough sex. You'll never have enough of anything in the material world.
that's wild because you're Will Smith.
The material world is completely, utterly, and totally incapable of sustaining our happiness. Love will make you do crazy things.
Before you go, check out the description section. Follow or subscribe for more.
Oh, wow. Wow.
How Will Smith broke the internet.